Imagine a conscious contact with God so strong that no matter what you are doing or not doing, that no matter what your kids are up to or not up to, and that whether you've got the person of your dreams or they're just not cooperating, that you are happy, content, and at peace. A space where everyone else's thoughts, attitudes, and actions are beautiful and exactly as they are supposed to be. Well, this is the space where I like to play. My name is Misha Z, and this is today's Bitch Slap. Join me as I shed light on the thoughts, actions, and attitudes that are causing you pain, and we train our minds to go to the capital S inner self, the joy that is waiting for us, the God within. It is Drive and Record episode day. This episode is, it's okay to have a bad day. It is okay to have a bad day. And I was thinking, there's a guy that I see speak a bunch, and he's very Tony Robbins-ish. And I say that with love for Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins is very motivational. He gets you excited and pumped up for life. And this dude is very naturally like that. And every time I see him, he's got this, hug everybody, notice the color of the trees, life is amazing, which is great, but it's always over the top. And I thought, man, what if he has a bad day? What is he willing to discuss that fact and be vulnerable? Or does he feel that he's got to hold up this appearance of positive energy? And I was thinking about that for me as well. How at times in my life when I've wanted my outsides to, like when I was successful in business, successful in recovery, successful in family, and when there started to be cracks in some of those things, for appearances, how willing was I to talk about some issues that I could have been having, or in relationships. I distinctly remember when I was having a hard time with this girlfriend. This was the next woman that I moved in with. So I got divorced from Dawn, and then I moved in with this new woman a year and a half later, 2 years later. In hindsight, perhaps too soon. But sometimes we would have, these emotional disturbances. I guess you'd call it a fight. But I would be so shook up, and I'd go to a meeting, like a recovery meeting, and I had a really hard time conveying the fact that I was in emotional distress. And I remember that very much being shook up, and like, how can I go to this meeting? I'm so emotionally shook up, and it just makes me think of, now I'm very willing to discuss. It actually got me thinking about the podcast as well. I was like, you know what? I think I do a fairly good job of being transparent about where I am with things. And that, generally speaking, I'm a positive guy. I feel very spiritually centered, trying to be of service, trying to, grow.
Some people will tell me, you don't need to grow anymore. You don't need to grow anymore. Compulsively addicted to growth. There's always something. There's always something. Isn't there someone you could do better, do worse, let it go? Oh my gosh. What am I even talking about? But I just was thinking, I was feeling for this person, and I was also thinking as for then I can start holding people to this unrealistic higher standard. So to talk about Tony Robbins again, it's like the dude's gonna have a bad day, right? The dude's gonna make I'm assuming, maybe not, maybe Tony never has a bad day, but I guess what I'm trying to say is, can I be easy on others when they're perhaps having a bad day or things are sideways? Can I not hold them in contempt, hold them in judgment? Can I be supportive and understanding and loving and even anticipate some upheaval? Because I sure know that I've gone through my own upheaval at times. I'll tell you something else. I'm very much in a space right now, which I've said multiple times recently on a few episodes, that so much of my creative thought process has gone to summit and inviting people and recording people and all this, that I feel like I'm starting over with the podcast. And when I say starting over, I feel like before, when I started the podcast, I was like, there's no way I can do an episode every day. There's no way. And then all of a sudden, so what I needed to do was just grab the microphone, start walking, and start talking about what was on my mind. And I feel like I'm starting from there again, honestly. Like, I don't even know what to talk about. And how am I going to record every day? It's so funny, I'm driving, there's a dog with his head out the window. I love that. Really cool dog. His jowls flapping in the wind. And to be perfectly transparent, as I look at the timer on the length of the episode, just hitting 7 minutes, I'm thinking, gosh, my stream of consciousness is lasting about 3 to 5 minutes. How in God's name am I going to get to 8 minutes? So I definitely feel like I'm starting over with topical content for the podcast, which is a little unnerving. Anyway, to close the loops on everything, one, let's make sure that if we're positive people, that we give ourselves space and permission to have bad days and to communicate with people the fact that we're having bad days and be vulnerable. Two, let's make sure to afford that to other people as well, especially people that we may hold in high esteem or see as, audience facing. I was really thinking, you know what, I have been maybe hard on people who like speakers that are out there, motivational speakers or what have you. Like, they get a bad day too. And third, I am nervous as can be and feel like I'm starting over with the podcast. So I am just or starting over with being able to record episodes. That's it. Love to all.
Thank you for spending time with me today. As someone who is committed to growth and service to this world, I so appreciate your willingness to come with me, go within, and serve our world through change. If you found value in this podcast and you know someone who can use this message, share this episode with them. Share it so our mission can be achieved one episode at a time. And of course, subscribe so you can hear more. And lastly, for more resources on what has helped me on my journey and can help you on yours, go to belove.media/resources. That's BELOVE.media/resources. Thank you again for listening.